Hey guys, hope you guys are having a great Tuesday. Is it still Tuesday? Can't believe it. Anyway, I just heard the craziest thing on the radio and I thought I'd share. I heard that today is Face Your Fears Day. Now, I cannot believe that there's actually a Face Your Fears Day. But for someone like me who, it's not that I get offended, but really there's a Children's Day when every day is Children's Day, and there's a International Women's Day, and you know what, every day is Women's Day and every day is everyone's day. So I thought if there's one thing we shouldn't be limiting to one day, it's facing your fears. I think there are 365 Face Your Fear days in a year, except on leap year, of course, where there are 366 of them. I think that facing your fears is something you have to get up and do every day. I know you've heard me talk about before when I've said that I love the quote by Eleanor Roosevelt that says, do one thing every day that scares you. And I pray that many of you are living by that motto. I know that sometimes just something as simple as making that cold call or meeting with that client is something that inspires a lot of fear. And the only way that we're going to get around that is to face them and practice it and do it as often as we can. And every time I speak to someone who's stuck, when they get that motivation, we had our Procrastination Slayer Lab this weekend. It was a great event, just a great group of people, which always ends up happening. It's the perfect group of people. You always have this, hey man, you always have this similar thread among the attendees, and this obviously was no exception. A room full of givers, people with a lot of passion, people with big dreams, which I love being around, and it made it for a great event. But when people are stuck and they do something that they're going to use as a catalyst to move on to that next level and where they need to be, very often, even with the enthusiasm that they have to move forward, they still, there's something that's playing in their mind, and it's either fear or doubt. Those are the only two things that once you get to that point where you decide, okay, now I'm going to do it, those are the two things that you most are going to have to contend with. So I see them as very similar things. You've heard me talk about fear, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about doubt, because with every two steps that they're taking forward, they're taking one back, and usually it's something that they're doubtful of. It's that but that comes in and starts to play a role in what they're trying to manifest. And I heard a great story one day driving down from Orlando. And you know how the radio stations sort of switch over, and there's a lot of Christian music on the way between Orlando and Miami. And it was great because I heard the story of this guy who's a sinner. I mean, he's the sinner of all sinners. The guy's a total dickhead. I mean, just really bad guy. And he's crooked at work, and he steals from his business partners, and he cheats on his wife, and list goes on and on and on. So he's about midlife, and he sees that his friends start to die off. Some have heart attacks, others get diseases, others it's sudden, and he starts to question his own mortality. And at one point he says, I'm questioning this whole heaven and hell thing. And I'm wondering if I need to start changing my ways. But he's such a good sinner that he's able to get the devil to give him a tour of hell. He wants to see if it's really that bad, if he should make some changes, because he doesn't want, how bad is this place where he's going to spend all of eternity. So of course he gets the tour because he's, a total sinner, and he's one of his favorites. So he gets a tour, and the devil is taking him through the halls of hell and taking him through, and this is where all the criminals are, and in this hall we keep, the dictators, and, Castro and Chavez and all these a-holes, and Hitler are there. And as they progress in through the halls of hell, it gets hotter and hotter, and it's just uncomfortable, and you hear these screams coming from all the rooms, and all these, people who were totally bad are now facing this eternity that they have to deal with. And, here are the child molesters, and here are, whatever, and they just go on and on. And the devil seems very proud of what he's been able to build for himself in hell, and who he's been able to bring to his corner. And finally, he gets to the very end of hell, and there's this huge room, and he tells this guy who he's giving the tour of, he says, "We have reached the end of the tour, and I always save the best for last. This is my favorite place in hell." And as he opens the door, the guy notices that there are these shadows flying all around the room. And there's nothing really in there that's creating the shadow. It's just shadows all over. And the guy says to the devil, "You know, what is this?" And the devil says, "This is where I keep doubt. And with doubt, I can destroy people. I can destroy families. I can destroy dreams. I can destroy countries. And I can destroy the whole world." And when I heard that story, it hit me, because the truth is that doubt that sometimes we feel is not coming from a good place. It's coming from a place where you're that close to where you want to be, or you're that close to getting on that road that's going to take you on that journey to get you to where you want to reach, that doubt creeps in, because it's trying to impede what you're going to do. It's trying to impede your ability to impact the world. It's trying to impede your ability to make a difference in people's lives and change the world. So the next time that you have either fear or doubt creep in, when you're all motivated and you just get up one morning and you just don't have it in you, or you make that call and you get that no, and that rejection comes in, and you begin to question, am I, what I'm doing, is it what I'm supposed to be doing? I promise you that you would not have that passion unless it was something that you were meant to do, unless it was something that you were equipped to do. And when that doubt creeps in, take my word for it, it is not coming from anywhere good. It is trying to block you. It is trying to keep you from getting there. And sometimes you're 3 inches away. You know, we've heard that story of that, you know, miner who's just 3 inches away from hitting the diamonds, and he just stops. And I just wanted to let you know that every day, no matter what you hear on the radio today, is Face Your Fear Days. Don't think it's just, you know, one day of the year. Every day we have to get up and face those fears and those things that we don't want to do. But I want to include in that I want you to also face those doubts. And I want you to be sure to understand that doubt is not coming from anywhere good. So that's it for today, folks. I hope you're all having a great day, and enjoy the rest of the week. Have fun.